Nobita fed his own comics into the printing press, and an issue of Nobita Weekly was produced in an instant. The content featured was all Nobita's comics, so Nobita began mass production, filling his entire house with copies of Nobita Weekly. He even planned to send these issues to bookstores and distribute them nationwide. Doraemon reminded him that bookstores wouldn't stock an unknown publication, so Doraemon took out a projection mirror and had Nobita project images onto every mirror in town to promote his weekly. Nobita was stunned when he saw the results, and even projected his own shadow onto the river's surface. Eventually, because everyone was curious, they all came to Nobita's house to check it out. They learned that Nobita had released a new weekly, and that it cost 100 yen to buy. Jian picked up a copy to look at it, but after just glancing at the pages, he lost all interest in reading further. The comics inside were even worse. They looked no different from scribbles. So when they left, no one bought a single copy, and they even mocked that. Even if it were free, no one would want it. Nobita frantically chased them outside. Just then, a stranger asked Nobita for a copy of the weekly, thinking he wouldn't be able to sell them, and gave him all the magazines. Unbeknownst to him, this person turned out to be a scrap collector. Nobita stood at the door, breaking down in tears. Then Nobita activated the editor robot to help him create a popular magazine. But the editor robot pulled out a questionnaire and ran outside to survey people's preferences. After collecting the questionnaires, Doraemon and Nobita began examining them closely. They eventually discovered that everyone preferred famous manga artists. Nobita instantly panicked. He didn't have the money to hire these famous artists to draw comics. Fortunately, Doraemon had already made preparations. First, he took out a copy of Astro Boy by Tezuka and placed it into the manga maker. The machine immediately began analyzing the artistic style of this manga and would then grant you the same drawing ability as the author of this manga. Nobita couldn't believe his eyes. Then Doraemon took out a microphone and asked Nobita to state his request. No matter the theme or style or even the most contradictory plotlines, the computer, which had absorbed Tezuka's true legacy, would fuse them all together. In the end, it successfully produced the manga Nobita had requested. Nobita picked it up and looked at it. The art style was indeed just like Tezuka's. Just as Nobita was still engrossed in looking at it, Doraemon put manga by other artists into the machine as well. Soon after, they obtained 10 manga with different art styles. Just as Doraemon was about to publish these manga, Nobita begged him to include his own manga as well. At that moment, the editor arrived with a questionnaire to remind the two of them. Besides manga, readers also wanted them to publish other content, like game guides or celebrity photos, but none of that was the main point. Whether a weekly magazine can attract readers depends first and foremost on the cover. So Nobita took the editor to find Shizuka and used the costume-changing camera to change her outfit, then took out a regular camera to photograph Shizuka for the magazine cover. Unexpectedly, the editor pulled out a bikini photo and wanted Nobita to put it on her, but Shizuka discovered their scheme before they could. In the end, the two made a hasty escape. Nobita returned home exhausted, only to find that Doraemon was already mass-producing copies. And just like that, the second issue of Nobita's weekly magazine was complete, featuring Shizuka's photo on the cover. Nobita was completely captivated because the style was just like that of famous celebrities. It instantly won everyone's hearts. Nobita and Doraemon also made a lot of money. Since producing the weekly magazine cost them nothing, both of them were very happy. Just then, the editor walked in with the reader's feedback. Nobita was eagerly anticipating the reader's reviews of the weekly, but to his surprise, everyone gave it a bad review. They even added, if it weren't for Nobita's comics, this weekly would be the most popular one in the world. Nobita was so furious he broke down and declared he would never produce a weekly magazine again.